moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Hi viewers, thank you so much for staying tuned to Tobago Updates Television. The sporting morning here. I want to thank Brian Bung for joining us talking about the Manchester Cup. We're going to jump into some karate, talking about karate in schools with the Tobago Martial Arts Academy. And joining me, of course, is a master, Mr. Danny Roberts. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
Fantastic. What a time to talk about karate in schools. I mean, I'm sure you have seen the news about fighting in schools, people stabbing and all them different things. I mean, your response as a master in terms of karate, because it teaches discipline.
Yes.
Tell me about your response to that.
Well, actually,
fighting in schools and all these different things.
It's a sad thing to see the kids fighting in school, but the martial arts, you will never hear that come out of the martial arts, because the martial arts has a certain way disciplining and training you where that is concerned. And if these young men and young ladies know what is violence and what it feels like, you know, and how to deter and what to do and how to walk away and that kind of stuff, it will, you know, be a different result because you don't see it in the martial arts.
Yeah, and then you, of course, are here this morning to talk about karate in schools.
Yeah.
An initiative coming out of what? The Tobago Martial Arts Academy.
Yes.
And they're talking about Gym of the Future Champ. Tell me about that.
Right. So what is happening, before I sort of get a little bit more into that, this is a program that I've done out of this country, out of the United States. And what happened when they had the program No Child Left Behind, they decided to pull a couple non-profit organizations to provide service for the young people in the schools. And martial arts was one of the key components for discipline.
Right.
And it was a very successful program. There was a lot of rewards and recommendation came out of it because they recognized the discipline of it. So I came back to my country and decided that when I'm seeing what's going on in the schools, is to bring a program that I have first-hand experience about. So it's not something that came out of the hat. It's something that I have first-hand experience and I've done over 10 years.
Right.
Whilst I was there working with the young people in the schools and, you know, providing services for them in the schools. So we decided we're going to come in and put our hat in the ring and try to help them. Now, the program is also WACO, TT, WACO Internet. WACO stands for World Kickboxing Affiliation.
Okay.
Right. And what WACO is, now karate is a Olympic sports. But before then, when I was doing it, it wasn't an Olympic sports. So we're hoping through the program, we can get a couple world champions coming out of the program so they could take that energy that they want to use and put it into something that could
negative energy.
And put it into positive so that they could be able to maybe become a world champion and make, you know, Tobago and Trinidad and Tobago are like proud.
Yeah. There's karate, then there's martial arts, and there's kickboxing. Can you differentiate for me in terms of...
Martial arts is to cover all of them.
Right.
When I say martial arts, it covers all of them. Now, there are different styles. You have kickboxing and you have... And karate, again, is a bunch of different styles. All right? The thing means empty hand.
Oh,
right. So, right. I think what the kanji mean empty hand. That's what karate is about. Empty hand, self-defense, right? So that is basically it. So when you hear karate, you will say, which one of them is karate? But there's Shotokan, there's Taekwondo, there's Jiu-Jitsu, there's all the different art forms.
So all these forms are going to be taught at the schools or this program that you have?
What we're teaching is the Olympics-based sport, and it's sports karate, right? Sports karate, you know, gives you opportunity to use a creative mind because it's not traditional karate. So you'll be able to create your forms and look at it when you go into competition and develop on that. So give you something to think about. And then, you know, it's the sparring part is also a part of sports. So it's a development for sports. Eventually, as you develop, you become better at it, and then you could go into the ring and become a kickboxer. So that's a way off.
Okay. So are you already in the schools, or this program now, you're now trying to introduce it into the schools?
Well, yes, we are now getting ready to open the program on the 28th. That is next week, Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, right?
Yeah, where we have a number of speakers and some of the professionals that do the sports that will come for the demonstration,
Right.
do the sports parts of it. So it'll be some internet. So the schools are on board. The education is on board with us.
That's really good to hear.
Finally, they're on board with us.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
Education. So they allow us to go into the schools and recruit students from the school, and so they will be there at the complex on Wednesday morning at 9.
That's Shopper Cultural Complex,
Yes,
right?
Shopper Cultural Complex for the opening of the program.
Right. So, as a parent viewing this program, right? My child going to school and you realize, I mean, they have a little temper. I mean, how would you, or what would you say to encourage that public parent to join your program?
Well, if they have a temper, although they have a temper, sometimes may be other mental
Okay.
issues. But when we start the program with you, we don't just get you into kicking and punching, go hit somebody.
Okay.
So there is a whole process to get there. And then we'll tell somebody will come and say, Sensei, I want to fight this. I said, no, there's no fighting in the school. What are you talking about fighting? So we just always, keep you away from that. We just let you realize it's a sport. And when you work out with each other, it's helping yourself and helping other person to get better. So it's just a workout. It's not a fight, right? But if you practice the katas, the form, the push-ups, you'll get good. So you don't have to think about the fight. The fight is just the last resort. If you train and something should happen, then you'll use the training, right? Because sure, if when a fireman trains, he repeat the drill.
Yeah.
So the day of the real fire, he uses the drills that he learned. It's the same thing in the martial. If you drill, train, drill some more. And if you have to defend yourself, if something comes to defend yourself, then you defend yourself, against that.
Yeah. And you're catering for both boys and girls?
Boys and girls. Yes.
Is there a particular age group as you're looking for? Or?
Primary school, we started primary school right up to the high schools.
Oh, so the program is also going to be launched in primary schools, not just...
It's in primary school and high schools. So in both level schools, yes.
Fantastic. And the response from the schools thus far, how has that been?
It has been good for some part. I think that some of the principals are burnt out with certain things happening.
Yeah.
So, but once we start, I think it will grow because we have a good response so far.
Yeah.
But it will grow to a really big program because it's a league basically. So where we have the North and that side, and we have the country league also. So they will compete up there, and we'll take the winners to compete against Scarborough.
Oh,
winners.
right. So,
and
okay.
And then the finals will be held at Shopper Cultural Complex. That's when we'll bring in all the international referees and that kind of stuff because they will have the international referees coming in to referee, and they will start getting the points towards the road to go towards Pan American and Olympics. So it's a sanctioned program. Yeah, that is going to be in the school.
So what's needed at the schools to execute this program successfully? Because I'm thinking you have to get gloves, you have to get the helmet or a head pad or something. What's needed at the schools?
They will have to get safety equipment again, but that's down the road. That's probably by September.
Oh, okay.
Right, but what we're doing right now, you wouldn't really need all that equipment per se, but it will be something that needed. So we have some unique plans that we have to get those funds that we need to raise. Because it's actually, and I don't want to leave out the Ministry of Sports.
Right.
This first leg is sponsored by the Ministry of Sports.
Okay.
So it's a part of Sports and Youth Affairs. They have sponsored the funding to go into the schools so far.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So it starts next week and ends when?
Well, with the first part of it going to close off at the end of the school term in December.
Right.
So that's when we're going to have all the tournaments and the finals and so on at the end of this. So you have a whole basically year to train to get to that.
Yeah. So you're ensuring that you're laying the foundation first, making sure that all the participants understand what is karate.
Yes.
They not just come into this, get into the physical aspect of it.
It'll be a awakening for them. They will not, because they think we're coming to that.
Yeah, because that is my thinking as well. Like, I mean, karate,
there's a whole discipline part of it because first, you gotta learn to follow directions.
Yes.
You gotta learn to follow commands, right? Because if we have you there, you're gonna become an anarchic situation. Learn to line up properly. You have to dress properly. Your fingernails. It's a lot of things that goes into the art form. Karate is a military art form, by the way, because I don't know if you know this, but back in the days, you could have done karate because that was like the firearm of the days. So
Right.
you as a normal
Yes,
individual,
hand to hand
right,
battles.
you could have
Yeah.
not done karate.
Yeah.
So karate has all the belt rank represents some military rank. So it's a military art form. It's a real discipline to get involved in. So all the military things are going to be put out there at that time.
This song's really exciting. And for persons who probably viewing here now, how can they get in touch with you if they are interested in the program?
All right, you could call me at 278-4303.
Right, and do you have like social media platform as well?
We do have some social media platform, but I am not the person
You're not
to
the
use
person.
that. But yes, there is social media platforms that we have available to the public.
Fantastic. I actually think this is I mean, it's timely.
Yes.
Right, given what we are seeing coming out of schools these
Right.
days, I mean, hand-to-hand fighting and include weapon as well.
Yeah.
And maybe they need that intervention where karate, or and I don't want to say fighting karate, but the discipline like you mentioned there, to learn to take instructions and listen and all
Right,
these
it's
different
all about
things.
the discipline because when I train a student, when they see me and I just tell them they
Right,
stop. So
yes.
when I train you,
Yeah.
the discipline is there, and I could train you towards participating in what's happening in the school. So you know that if you're not doing, because that's part of the program, you're not doing what you're supposed to do in the school,
Right.
then you have problems. Once the teachers tell me you have some problems, and it's the only kind of thing that still have some level of discipline close to the old school way of doing things, right? One of the things, though, I know we're winding down, that I want to tell the teachers, though, there's also something that they could do called passive restraint.
Passive restraint.
I think that if you're in the police service, because I'm also certified doing that, if you're in the field where you have to go, where driving the ambulance, so you deal with persons in the public space, you should learn passive restraint. Passive restraint is a technique that teaches you how to restrain someone without hurting them or hurting yourself, right? Because I see that schools are very active, and they should have some teachers that are versed or persons that are versed in passive restraint.
It's like learning first aid.
Right.
It's like learning first aid.
Yeah, that's right. So there's a whole system that you can learn that will teach you how to handle somebody and take control of them before them harm you or you harm they harm themselves or somebody else.
Yeah, I think this program is timely, and I'm hoping that you get the support of all the schools, and even though they don't participate in the program, the schools can at least get people like yourself come in and, as you mentioned a while ago, the passive restraint and all these different things, because the school environment these days, no one willing to have a conversation anymore.
Yeah, but you see what happened? We take out the corporal punishment out of school. We take out, and then we have this thing called No Child Left Behind in the school.
Yeah, no, and nothing to replace.
And they have nothing there. And I'm saying the system that they asked for, when they did these things outside, they put systems in place, because I've recognized going to school, none of the agencies here, we have things, but the agencies are not working together to bring that kind of result that they're looking for. So I think one of the appeal I will make is for the agencies to start working together, because imagine the police don't know, if they go to school, they don't know the thing of this child, if the child misbehaving or what. Children authority don't, everybody has their own information over the place.
So, they're reactive.
Right.
Yes.
So we need to have the agencies coming together, and the safety, because I worked in a high level like this, the safety part of the school is not for the teachers. The teachers are supposed to report these students and their consequences. Imagine I used to work with the judges. There are judges in school in the United States, they will send you to community service, house arrest, all kind of thing happens to you in that space. So you need to have the agencies coordinating, working together to bring some kind of result to this, because if you keep working by themselves, they only could react when something happened. So that is something very needed.
I mean, food for thought, and obviously working together will always be stronger. Master Danny Roberts, I want to thank you so much for being here with us this morning, and I do hope you have a successful program, and obviously we will have you back later on.
No problem.
I mean, to of course share all the experiences. Viewers, we've been chatting this morning with Master Dan Roberts, talking about his Karate in Schools initiative, an initiative I think very timely. Previously we had Coach Brian Bong talking about the Manchester Cup, and I want to wish him all the best here. I want you guys to continue to keep viewing Tobago Updates Television. Up next we have Candice Jackson with Good Morning Tobago. Don't forget to share the live, and stay tuned.